Live from the City of Angels, Friday afternoon, midnight movie money update. Fantastic Four first steps. The early numbers are in, and we get right to it from Deadline. You can see it here at $125 million plus. I think this is the floor. It's going to be bigger than Superman. I'll explain why here momentarily. Welcome in here live, as always, Midnight Movie Talk. During the day on a Friday, as you look at this film, you're going to talk about exits, right? The exit polling. People that see this love this film. It's a better film than Superman. You guys know how I feel about it. I think that this is going to get a better cinema score. Superman got an A-. This should get an A, no less than that. And we're looking at a film that would be better on the weekend with families, okay? That's what Marvel traditionally does on the weekends. They do very well on Saturday and Sunday. And it's mentioned here from Deadline as we give them credit for the early three-day total of $125 million. That is $24.4 million last night on the Thursday preview cash. Actually, those screenings started at 2 o'clock. That is the largest preview day/night of the year directly to the Disney email. And you can see it right here. The biggest preview of 2025 and largest since Deadpool and Wolverine, which had 38.5 million. And Marvel now has 3 of the top 5 previews of 2025. Fantastic Four, Captain America, Brave New World, and Thunderbolts, okay? But you look at Brave New World, 12 million, and Thunderbolts, 11.5. We are double that. So this is very encouraging. And again, couple that with word of mouth, it'll be very high. You're talking about a weekend that I think can get to 130 or higher. But conservatively, right, we talk about that floor of 125. The ceiling should be 135 here, minimum. I think we look at that, and you're talking about somewhere about 130. And remember last night when we did this live, I told you, what was my number? $131 million. It's still in there. Okay, I didn't update this. It's from last night. That's my lower third graphic I made for that. So you look at this film, go back to what is happening now with this film. You look at the demos from last night. What are the demos? Those are the average age of the person that's going to the movie, right? You look at last night, the under 35 crowd was 70% versus Superman 66%. So that's better. Why? The younger crowd means we'll have a bigger turnout on the weekend. Let's go to Superman and look at the Friday to Saturday, okay? Friday was $56.1 million on Friday for Superman. Deadline is calling this at 56 right now for Friday, but I bet that goes up. But let's say it stays at 56. You look at Superman, and you can see that it goes down 33% on Saturday to only 37.6 million. So we lose a third from Friday. Let me tell you what Marvel does. It holds better on the weekend, even though Superman is definitely more of a 4-quad film than Joker, okay? But Marvel and Fantastic Four, it's just more in the eyes of the average moviegoer, more accessible for families. So you look, that number is going to be better. That's where you pick up the ground and you get bigger than Superman's $125 million debut, which would be exactly the same, right? Identical bow for Superman and Fantastic Four if it stays at 125. But again, I'm calling it here. Saturday and Sunday will go higher than Superman. And because of that, we end up with a bigger number. And who knows, even today, we could see that number pop larger than what Deadline has it at $56 million. Also want to mention this. Disney's going to go over the $3 billion mark this year, and you can see that's in the email as well. And that means they have had another stellar year for Disney. Lilo and Stitch, $1 billion. Captain America, Brave New World, 415. This will do much better than that, right? We called that after seeing this film last night. This is a bigger box office worldwide easily than Brave New World at 415 and Thunderbolts at 382. Mufasa Lion King only made $358 million globally. That is a bomb, right? Think about that. You talk about Lion King 2019 going at 1.6, right, billion, and Mufasa at $358 million. That movie's not good, right? is just so flat, and the songs are not great. And you're just sitting there going, why are we doing this? And I think audiences definitely agree with me on that. But you look at them getting to $3 billion this year. Again, Disney, forget the go woke, go broke. They're still killing it. Obviously, you can see that here in the numbers. Back to Deadline, and we'll get a couple of comments, and we're rolling out of here. You can see that they include that 24.4 million from last night in that 56 from today, the estimate that they think it's at right now. But again, I think that 125 is the floor, not the ceiling. Ceiling's 135. I'm taking this at 131. I'm going to stick with that number, and we'll see where we end up on Sunday. We'll have that latest final number on Sunday right here on Midnight Movie Money. We do that about 9:15 in Los Angeles. That's a little after noon, 12:15 in New York. Everywhere else, figure it out. Do the math. I'm not going to do the calculator for everywhere around the world. If you're watching here on X or YouTube here this afternoon, thanks for joining us. A few comments. We're out of here on this Friday. Thanks for being here live as always. Thank you, David. Yes, appreciate that. Maybe we'll watch the After the Hunt trailer. I got things, listen, we have things to do on Sunday. We'll have Scott Menzel on. We'll talk about this, and we will discuss many things. And yes, don't even get me started about Netflix, okay? Netflix, when I see that logo, it's all bets are off. I'm not interested, right? We've talked about that a million times. Until they decide to do theatrical the way everybody else in this town does, and I do mean everybody. Apple and Amazon, they are persona non grata here on MMT. We'll have the latest update on this coming up Sunday morning on Midnight Movie Money. Thanks for being here on this Friday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace out. Stream's over. Easy, quick, and done. I'm off to eat lunch. Bye.